Okay, we are live. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Welcome. My name is Jackie Gralick, and I am the admissions specialist for Morris County Vocational School District. We are so excited to have you here virtually to learn all about Morris County Vocational School District. And all that we have to offer. We will give you a couple opportunities to engage, but we also will show you some different resources to get some questions answered. But I want to just go into who you are going to get to meet tonight. This evening, we have the pleasure of having Mrs. Sherry Castelli, our Assistant Superintendent from Morris County Vocational School District, along with us. We also have Mrs. Gina DiDomenico, our Student Recruitment and Community Relations Specialist. Students, you may have seen her in a virtual forum in your middle schools. And again, my name is Jackie Gralick, the Admissions Specialist. But very excitingly, we have some incredible students here with us this evening. We have student ambassadors from all of our academies at the Denville campus. So with us tonight, you're going to get to hear from Marisol, Shreya, Connor, Mahi, Tejas, Matthew, Alex, Jordan, Giuseppe, Heather, Maddie, and Emily. So they're going to speak a little bit about their experiences in the academy later on, as well as if you'd like to ask them some questions, we would love for them to be able to help you along with this process. How to ask questions. What we have for you is a virtual forum to submit questions. You can submit all throughout. We will present the presentation, and at the end, we will open that up and get through as many questions as possible. What you can do is if you have a smartphone, go ahead and pull up your camera phone app and hold that to that little QR code. A little bar will come across your screen. Click that and you will have access to the form. You also can type in this tiny URL if that's easier into your web address. Those of you that did register for this evening, Ms. DiDomenico has magically sent you all an email to your inbox that you registered for tonight with a link to this form, so you can go ahead and start submitting if you'd like, as well as a link to a website that we made in addition to our regular website that's specifically for the information sessions. We will also reference that a few times this evening, so when you have some time, we highly suggest that you check that out. It was made specifically for interested students and families, and a lot of it was made by our students for incoming students. So it's a great resource. But thank you again so much for being with us, and I'm gonna go ahead and pass the virtual mic to Mrs. Sherry Castelli.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. While we always love to do this in person, and we're unable to do that tonight, we are glad that you could join us virtually. And hopefully my dog won't bark in the middle of the presentation. There's always a risk. Tonight, we are going to talk about what our district is overall. You'll find out a little bit about what we do, which is called Career and Technical Education. You'll learn about our academy programs and about our school in Denville, which is called Morris County School of Technology. You'll get to hear from our wonderful student ambassadors who represent all of our academies on the Denville campus. And you'll get an overview of the admissions process, and you'll understand how that works. And then at the end, we will answer those questions that you're submitting now through that QR code. Next. Thank you. So what are we? What is this place? So we are Morris County Vocational School District. Now, vocational is no longer the fashionable phrase for it. We are career and technical education. And that means that every single student who comes to us is in a career program. We call our full-time programs academies. And we have other programs that students come to for half the day, and those are called share time programs. So full-time means academy, it's for grades 9 through 12. Share time is a program for students who are in 11th and 12th grade, and they come to us for half the day. In addition to that, we have satellite programs. So we have academies in various schools throughout the county, and we have share time programs at Pequannock High School and at CCM. We also serve the adult population through our adult continuing education programs. We have all kinds of apprenticeships and certification programs for adults. So what is the unifying theme? It's career and technical education. All of our students are in programs that help them eventually move into a career that is high skilled. It's also important to note that we are public, so no one pays tuition to come here. We're good, Jackie. So what is an academy program? That's why you're here. You're here tonight to learn about academies. There are 4-year programs, grades 9 through 12. And in addition to the Career Academy piece, there are also academic classes, just like any other high school would have. So English, math, science, social studies, world history, and electives, we have them all. We have sports and after school activities like clubs. So we are a high school. We are just a high school that's focused on career and technical education. And each academy is like its little own school within our school. Every year that a student is in our school, they're going to take an academy course or 2 academy courses, depending on the program. And they're going to take 10 credits of that academy. So what does that mean? Well, a full year course in English, math, science, social studies is 5 credits. So what that means is they get to spend twice as much time in that particular class or academy than they do in any single academic course. So it's something that we really value, and it's really our purpose. Now, where do our students go once they're done? So most of our students go to 4-year colleges, and some go to 2-year colleges or technical schools, and some will go right into the workforce, into an apprenticeship, or into the military. So what makes career and technical education so special? So in our academy programs, students get to learn about things that they really like every single year. And while a student may go through our high school and then decide they don't want to continue in that particular career pathway when they're in college, they still get to do what they like every day. So, like for me, I mentioned my dog. So, going along with that theme, if I got to go to school and work with animals every day, that would make me a pretty happy student. So, that's really a great benefit of an academy education. So, you get to learn about what you like every single year. We also are very much guided by business and industry partners and college partners, and other organizations. They are our advisory councils. And one of the requirements for our programs is that we meet at least twice a year with this group so that they can tell us what we're doing right, what we need to do in order to get better, and they can help offer opportunities for our students. We also participate in career and technical student organizations. Some of the pictures that you saw were competitions or events for those organizations. The biggest one we have at our school is called Skills USA. HOSA is for healthcare occupations, and DECA is for business. So all of these organizations allow our students to hone their skills, develop leadership characteristics, and compete at the state and national level. And that brings us to competition. So not only do we have events and competitions through our CTSOs, but a lot of the pictures you saw in the video were from hackathons, which we sponsor, and Makers Day events. So we try to do a lot for our students so that they can showcase their skills and knowledge. Next. So other things that are really important to us are what we call work-based learning, which the technical term is a structured learning experience. You may know it as an internship. So we require a 120-hour internship the senior year. Right now we have our students working virtually a lot, and we have some other opportunities for our students, but in non-COVID environment, our students get to go out into business and industry organizations and practice and hone their skills and knowledge, and that's very important to us. We also have a lot of dual credit opportunities. So we do not have AP or advanced placement courses, with the small exception of our Academy for Computer and Information Sciences. We much prefer dual credit. So dual credit is where you actually take a college class. And we do that in a couple of ways. The first way is our teachers teach the college level course on our campus just as part of our curricular offerings. And then the students have the option of getting college credit for those courses. The much larger program that we have is called our senior year option. And so qualified seniors, you have to qualify through grades and standardized test scores, have the opportunity to go to a college their senior year. And that's a list of the colleges that we partner with. And it's like an ever expanding list. I just met with another college. I just met with Seton Hall a couple weeks ago. So it's like an ever growing list of colleges that want our students on their campus for this experience. We pay, that's right, we pay for 24 college credits. We have guidelines of what students have to take in order to meet their high school graduation requirements, and they also take academy related courses. But it's a great opportunity for our students. They can graduate high school with 24 credits or more. And for students who don't want to be on a college campus for all their classes, we do offer hybrid options. So they may be able to take their academic classes at MCST, but their academy classes at a college. So we do offer that option. And then we also have seniors who decide that it's not for them and they stay on our campus their senior year and have a great experience. Good. So our school offers honors level courses. Beginning next year, all ninth grade students will take an unweighted non-honors course load. So we will not have honors in ninth grade. And the reason for this is we take students in from all kinds of middle schools all over the county. And so they may have different experiences, and all the middle schools may offer various levels of rigor. So what we will do, and this is also research based, we made this decision because there's a lot of research to support it. We are going to offer all students rigorous courses that help everyone build a solid foundation for future academic success. And then after that, qualified students, so students who meet the criteria, will move into the honors program. We also provide special education and support services for full-time students. We have a child study team, and we have 5 special education teachers. Next. We are highly ranked and recognized nationally and in the state. Our students do quite well. We were designated as a National Blue Ribbon School. When we had state testing, we didn't have it last year, but in the past, we've always ranked very high in the state. I believe that our English language arts program was actually among the highest in the state. So our students do very well. We get a lot of kudos. Next. So what are our academy programs? So we have animal science. Full disclosure, my son graduated from that program and is doing quite well. We have biotechnology. So what is biotechnology and how is it different from, say, a healthcare program? So biotechnology is focused on research. So you may have been hearing a lot lately about this little thing called COVID. So biotechnologists are the ones who will develop vaccines and therapies through their research. So that's what that program is about. And we are currently working on a new laboratory that will be ready next fall for that program. We also have computer and information science, culinary arts. That's my favorite place to hang out because food, there's a lot of it there and it's all delicious. We have an academy for design, education and learning for our future educators. We have an academy for global commerce, and that has 2 tracks. And we do that sometimes where we'll have one academy and it'll have some options in it. So this particular academy has finance and international business, which is a very old established program, and then a new program called Global Supply Chain Management. And those of you who've been following developments during the pandemic know that one of our greatest challenges in fighting COVID has been keeping the supply chain going. And it's a very critical component of business. So we are now offering that program. It's in its 2nd year. We have an Academy for Healthcare Science. How's that different than biotech? Well, in healthcare, you are worried more about individual patient treatment and care. So it's not about the research and developing therapies and medications so much. It's really more about working with patients in both wellness and in helping them overcome illness. We have an Academy for Law and Public Safety and Multimedia. These are our Denville campus programs. So that's what you would find at the Morris County School of Technology. Next. We also have satellite academy programs that I mentioned earlier. I think our most well-known is Academy for Math Science and Engineering, located at Morris Hills High School. That program has been in existence the longest. We are in our 21st year. So we celebrated our 20th year last year. We have environmental science at Jefferson Township High School, and that is a wonderful program where they do so much hands-on field work and win awards and all kinds of crazy things. And then we have an Academy for Performing Arts. Now, this is another academy that has multiple programs in it. So we have dance, theater, and vocal performance. And those, when you see the admissions portion of our presentation, you will see they require an audition as well as the regular application. And then we have an Academy for Sports Medicine located at Roxbury High School. It had been located at MCST, but Roxbury, first they begged us. And then they showed us amazing facilities that they have there and all the sports teams that they serve. And they persuaded us to move it to their campus. So it is there now. Next. So transportation. So this is a worry of a lot of prospective applicants. And I will tell you, before I get into the details, that our students do come to school when we have in-person instruction. Everyone gets there and everyone has a full day. So the transportation does work. The transportation is up to your sending district. So if you're from Parsippany, Parsippany will arrange transportation for you to come to our Denville campus. Likewise, if you're from Mount Olive, they will arrange the transportation. So the specifics of how they transport you will depend on where you're from. And I'm sure that our student ambassadors could even share with you some of their transportation experiences. Our school day is from 8 a.m. to 2:56 p.m. And we do have late buses that take students. They won't, take students home and drop them at their house, but they will deliver students to various locations throughout the county. And we have several routes that go north, south, east, and west throughout Morris County. We will advocate for you, even though we don't arrange the transportation and we don't oversee it. If you ever have an issue, you will reach out to Mr. Menadir's office. That is our assistant principal, and they will work with you to figure out how to solve the problem. Next. We do offer sports, and we have teams every season. I will say we don't have the most teams that you've ever seen in a high school, but we do have the basics. If for some reason you want to play a sport or participate in a sport that we don't have, or participate in a program that we don't have, you can ask your home district if you can participate. So if you play, let's say, lacrosse, we don't have lacrosse, you can ask your local high school if you can join that team, and whether or not you can is going to be dependent upon your home district. If you wind up going to one of our wonderful satellite campuses, then you will play sports with them. And I will tell you, virtually all of them have more sports than we have at our campus. Why? Because we're a CTE school, and our focus is really on career and technical education. We understand that we have to be comprehensive and offer everything that a student needs to have a complete high school experience, but we're not a traditional high school. We're a career and technical education school. So I am reminded to tell you, I could just by looking at Jackie, I'm reminded to tell you that when you registered for this session, you received a link to that website that Jackie described earlier. And that has little short videos and information about sports and after school activities. So you can check those out at your leisure. They are chock full of information. Okay, I'm going to hand it back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Castelli. So this is my favorite part of any evening that we have. Our students get to take the mic and talk about their experience. And that is always something that each year continues to uplift me and make me continue to be so proud to work at Morris County Vocational School District. So we're just going to start. I'm going to go ahead and name the first academy, and our student ambassador will hop on and give you a little information. So we're going to start alphabetically. So Miss Marisol, you are up for animal science.
Hi everyone, my name is Marisol and I'm a student ambassador for the Academy for Animal Science. One thing I love about being in animal science is having hands-on work with all the animals.
All right, thank you so much, Marisol. Up next, we're going to go Connor for Computer and Information Science.
Hey, I'm Connor from Computer and Information Sciences. I love the Academy because it lets me do what I love and learn more about it at the same time.
Thank you, Connor. Up next, also from Computer and Information Science, we have Tejas.
Hi, I'm Tejas from Computer and Information Sciences. One thing I love about the Academy is that I can work with so many like-minded people and get advice from almost anybody in the classroom.
Thank you, Tejas. Up next, Mix Alex with Culinary.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm student ambassador for the Academy for Culinary Arts. And something I love about culinary is that we have access to a bunch of high-tech tools that we wouldn't usually get to cook with at home.
Thank you so much. Giuseppe for Design.
Hello, my name is Giuseppe Gilios, and I chose design because of their unique opportunities. And of course, I get to learn what I love.
Thank you, Giuseppe. Education and Learning, Maddie.
Hi, my name is Maddie, and my favorite thing about the Academy for Education and Learning is the hands-on experience we get working in and observing in a preschool. And working with the kids is really fun.
Thank you, Maddie. All right, for Healthcare Science, Mahi.
Hi, I'm Mahi, and I love healthcare because I've made so many new friends with the same passions as me, and it kind of feels like a family.
Thank you, Mahi. And also for Healthcare, Matthew.
Hi, my name is Matthew Miller. I'm a student ambassador for the Academy for Healthcare Sciences. My favorite part about healthcare is the hands-on activities like taking vital signs and practicing injections.
That is always fun. All right, for Law and Public Safety, Jordan.
Hi all, my name is Jordan Rabadi. I'm the student ambassador from Law and Public Safety, and something I really enjoy about my academy is being able to pursue all my political aspirations and finding new perspectives on modern day current events.
Thank you, Jordan. All right, for Multimedia, Heather.
Hi, my name's Heather, and I'm the student ambassador for the Academy for Multimedia. And I love media because of all the opportunities that we're given and the ability to use equipment and work hands-on with shows and productions and just learn so much about the field.
Thank you, Heather. And Emily for sports medicine.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm in sports medicine, and I chose this academy because it helped me find something I'm very passionate about. So far, we've learned a lot of really interesting things, and right now we're working towards getting our personal training certifications, which is really exciting.
That is exciting. Thank you, Emily. All right. And I just wanted to point out these are Dendel Campus Academy student ambassadors. They are current juniors in our classes. Unfortunately, the ambassador for the Global Commerce Academy had a connectivity issue, so I do apologize for that. And if you notice, we do not have biotechnology represented, and that's because we do not have a junior Dendel Campus class yet. But the students will be available to help answer questions. So thank you so much, student ambassadors. I'm going to go ahead and move in now that you have learned all about who Morris County Vocational School District is and what we have to offer. I want to give you some tools for the application process, and then we will open it up to Q&A. And all of this information is available on our website, mcvts.org/apply. So please do not feel overwhelmed. But the first thing you need to do in step one is to choose an academy. That's why it's important to attend an information session and do that fact finding. Throughout all of the information, our traditional website, the website that was made just for the information session, attending these information sessions. If there's anything that we can help you along with, do not hesitate to reach out to us. We want to make sure you have all the tools to choose the correct academy for you. But as Mrs. Castelli spoke about, it's important that you do have a passion and a desire to be in the academy that you choose. We do want you to enjoy your time over your high school career. So step two is you need to fill out the application. It is a basic web-based application. It's also accessible on our website. It's going to ask you contact information, what your current school is, what your current school district is. You are also going to be entering in 2 emails for 2 middle school teachers for a recommendation, which I will give you a little more information on the next slide. For the entire application process, you are going to have access to what's called our admissions handbook. It is about 5 pages long. We highly suggest that both applicants and parents and guardians read that from cover to cover. It's not a long read, and it really will 9 times out of 10 answer your question on our process. So if you're not sure when something's due or how that works, please do reference it. It's going to start your application with a link to the handbook. It'll come when you hit submit in a confirmation email, and it's also available on our website. New to this year, students are going to have the ability to submit a personal statement video. We do want you to showcase yourself in this video. I'm going to show you in the handbook. We do have a link to a web page that gives you information on exactly what to do and what exactly you do to submit that application. But that we want you to enjoy that process for this year. We're excited about that, to be able to see you virtually just like tonight. All of the criteria, which I will also go over a little bit in more detail, is due by December 9th. So do make sure that you do work with your school to have the information submitted, and you will have access to what's called a status page, an applicant status page, where you can check it all throughout, and you will also receive email notifications. All of our communication is via email, so please do check your email throughout the process. As soon as you hit submit on your application, if you have not received a confirmation email, please do check your spam box, as it may have gone into that. And the email address is applicants@mcvts.org. So diving in a little bit deeper, the application is currently open and it closes pretty quickly on December 9th. We have Thanksgiving in there, so I highly suggest, if you are interested, to fill out that application sooner rather than later, because as you can see, that criteria is due by Friday the 11th. Again, that is accessible on our website. So when you are completing your application this year, you're going to be adding in 2 middle school teacher emails. So a teacher that you currently have or have had in middle school, their email address for a recommendation. The recommendations are not personally written letters. They are going to be receiving an email link with a form of questions. Applicants will not have access to see those responses from their middle school teachers. But please do make sure that the email address is correct. Check that website. And I always suggest send a friendly email to that teacher and ask them permission for that, which will also help. So when they see that email come through, they'll say, John Smith applying to design. Yes, let me go ahead and complete that for him. You will have access to see the emails that you submitted on your applicant status page, as well as in your confirmation email and release form, which I'll talk about in just a moment. When you do go into your application and hit submit, two magical things happen. One, you get your confirmation page. Please do go ahead and print that. If you don't have access to a printer right there, it will be emailed to you. But what is on that confirmation page is also a release form. So it's very important that your parent or guardian sign the release form and that you hand that into your school counselor. When you hit submit, what also happened was an automatic email went to your middle school, a middle school in Morris County. We have representatives at all of our Morris County Sending District middle schools that they received a notice that says that John Smith from Design has applied, okay? But they cannot submit the information that's required until they receive the signed release form. So do make sure that you hand that in to them. Your middle school will be submitting grades for the final scores of 6th grade, math, science, English, social studies, as well as the first and second marking periods of 7th grade. They will also be submitting information on conduct and attendance for the same time periods, the final of 6th grade and the first and second marking period of 7th grade. When your middle school recommendation teachers submit their recommendations, as well as when your school counselor submits your scores, you will receive an automatic email letting you know that that's been done, and it will provide a link to our applicant status page. So make sure that you log in because you can see the grades and the conduct and attendance that your school has inputted to ensure that that is correct, as well as if you see that only one of the two of your middle school teachers has submitted that recommendation, you can send them a friendly reminder email to let them know. Unique only to applicants applying for the Academy for Math, Science, and Engineering. So only applicants to Math, Science, and Engineering will take an admissions test this year. And that will take place in person on the Denville campus in January. There is a link in the admissions handbook, very detailed information on the test to help you feel nice and comfortable on the topics that will be covered, but it will be a 1-hour pen and paper math only test, only for applicants to the Academy for Math, Science, and Engineering. We will provide the dates and times of the test later in December. So now all of this information has come in. You see on your status page that your school counselor has submitted all of your scores, your attendance, your conduct. Your middle school teachers have submitted your recommendations. You submitted your video, and all of that criteria is in. The deadline has approached. Now we will compile all of the data per academy. So everyone that applied to animal science, everyone that applied to performing art dance, each academy we will look at, and we will determine a qualifying score per academy. Students that are at or above that score will advance to the next phase. Those that do not will receive unfortunate notice of non-advancement. Next, the qualified applicants, we will first look at students from underrepresented and non-traditional populations as identified in what Perkins 5 Comprehensive Local Needs Assessment. There's a link directly to that in our admissions handbook, Perkins 5 Comprehensive Local Needs Assessment. That's something that all CTE schools work with. So students from those populations will be selected to fill seats in our academy. Finally, our remaining qualified applicants will be selected using an independently supervised random selection process. So now we have compiled all the results. We have completed the random selection process, and we are ready. We're going to go ahead and send out notification of acceptance or wait list, and that will come via email as well as it will appear on your applicant status page. We're anticipating to have these results out, the final results, by late January, early February. We will do everything we can to stick to that timeline. We really want to make sure that we get that information out to you, as we know that that's very important. If there's any snags to the timeline due to the current climate, we will absolutely notify you via email of such, or we're very hopeful to be able to stick to that timeline. When you're accepted, we'll use positive language. We will be sending notification to all of your, what we call the home district, the sending district, the school district in which you live in will be notified in the spring that you have been accepted, and that will trigger them to send the cumulative files to our school as well as for transportation. Just a note on transportation routes do not come until late summer, just like any high school, so do not fret, but they do come in the late summer. But we always say more information is better than not enough. So it's a great idea to go ahead and give your home district that information that you will be attending one of the academies at Morris County Vocational School District. So you may only apply to one of the incredible academies that you're learning about tonight. So it's important that you do feel comfortable with that. And again, our bit of advice is to have a passion and a desire to be in that academy. On our website, you will see under the Apply tab, there's a link to a page called, let me tell you exactly what it says, I apologize. What academy should I choose? Because we know that that can be a tough question. And there is what we call, it's a career and technical education quiz. Not a hard quiz. This should be fun. Be honest, enjoy the quiz. It's going to ask you a series of questions about your likes, what type of personality you are. And then what it does is it identifies different career clusters. There are 16 different career clusters that you could possibly have a career path in based upon your interests. And then from there, you'll see a link to all of our academies, and it will show you, based upon those career clusters, what academies that we offer in those, so that might also help you along. Throughout the admissions process, I can't stress enough the importance of the admissions handbook. It is really going to be a great guide to help you along. It is a lot to digest, but we want to make sure that we have that for you. It's written out chronologically through phases, as well as some detailed information. You have links to the video submission that shows you step by step exactly what to do. You have links for the Academy for Math, Science, and Engineering applicants for the math test. You have links to the rubric, which explains the scoring of attendance and grades. So do take your time and take a peek at that. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate. We want to help you through. So all of our correspondence will be via email, and whenever your heart desires, you can check that status page. If at 11 o'clock at night you want to know, go ahead and log in. So that's a great way to feel connected to the process. But finally, students, be proud of your hard work. It's a big deal to look at a different high school for the next 4 years. So we want you to be really proud of your hard work. No matter what the results are, we are proud of you. We know your parents and guardians are proud of you, and we know that you have a really successful future ahead of you. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and leave up the screen that has the access to the questions, just in case someone was not able to capture that earlier. So we will leave that up, and we're going to start taking some questions here. We'll get through as many as we can before the end of the session here. And I do see they are coming in a bunch, so that's great. I'm so happy to see that you were able to engage. The first question I see is, it looks like, why is there a middle school delay on submission of the academic grades? So your middle school is responsible for submitting the grades, the conduct and attendance reports. If your middle school has not submitted that, ensure that you have handed in your release form. And if you have done that, just send them a polite reminder. Schools do have until December 11th to complete all the data. We do ask them if they can do that as soon as possible, but some schools may have a targeted time frame. But I would say just send a polite email letting them know, and I'm sure that you'll get a status update on that from your middle school. And again, when they do that, you will receive an automatic email letting you know that they have submitted, with a link to the status page, so you can go ahead and see what was submitted on behalf of your child. All right, Mrs. Castelli, this one you might be able to help me with. My child would like to be a mental health therapist in the future. Which academy is the best path?
So I would say it depends on the population your child would like to work with. I'm inclined to say healthcare, because mental health is part of healthcare. But I would also say that if you're thinking about working with children, you might be interested in education and learning. However, you do have to learn a lot about teaching and learning as well. So I would probably go with healthcare on that one.
And you know what, if it's okay, I'm also going to Matthew and or Mahi from healthcare. I know Miss B just completed her mental health unit. Is that correct? Yes, okay. Is that something, did you cover any information on health therapy in that unit?
Well, I think we did. We covered a lot of stuff. We learned about different mental conditions. Also in sophomore year, we learned about like the whole therapy cluster. So, and I'm interested in becoming something like that. And I think healthcare has been a good fit so far. So, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's always great to be able to get the student lens who are in there, with the criteria. Can one switch vocational schools? I have an interest in STEM and finance and international business. That is a great question. Unfortunately, you can only apply to one academy. So we do want you to try to see if there's one that you have a little bit more of a passion for than the other. But a lot of our students, I can say, just because you're in one academy doesn't mean that you don't have interests in other types of areas. We do have students that, maybe have completed an academy, say in law and public safety, and then went into nursing. That is absolutely, that does happen. Mrs. Costelli touched upon that, but you do have to choose one of the incredible academies to apply to. Giuseppe, I'm gonna throw you on the mic here. Does the design program touch on architecture?
That's a really good question. And yes, we do touch upon it. Oh, in junior year, I believe. Junior year is when students will be doing a lot of more complicated kind of design topics, and architecture is one of those topics.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Giuseppe. Will the tests be scheduled for the applicants? So as far as testing, only applicants applying to the Academy for Math, Science, and Engineering will be taking a math test in January. You can reference that in the admissions handbook. Emily, I am going to pass the mic to you. This question is about sports management. Does VOTEC have a sports management major? And I'm going to preface it with Emily is a current student of sports medicine that is housed at Morris County School of Technology. The program has since moved to Roxbury, as Ms. Costelli notated, with all of their wonderful facilities. They have a great athletics program, lots of different gyms and different resources. But Emily, can you speak a little bit about sports management?
We really haven't learned anything about sports management. We learned more about like the medical sides and stuff and how that ties into sports and like exercising. I don't know if they changed that up with Roxbury. And I know for junior and senior year, there's like an exercise science shared time academy. So if you end up becoming more interested in like exercise science in a couple years, you could always apply to that too. But for like sports management, I don't know. Not the sports medicine academy doesn't really do that. So I'd say maybe the business academy would be better. I don't know.
I was going to say that exactly. You did that perfectly. Management is more of a business. So you'd be better off in that academy and learn basic business principles that would apply to the sports world. Definitely.
Wonderful. Thank you, Emily and Mrs. Costelli. If I choose a satellite academy, will I get full transportation there and back? So for the satellites, yes, transportation to and from school is going to be provided, and that is set up and arranged by your sending district. For after school sports or athletics, though, it is the responsibility of the parent, guardian, and student for the satellite campuses. The Denville campus has late busing Monday through Thursday throughout Morris County. Okay. I'm just trying to go through because we don't have that much more time, as some of these we have answered.
But Ms. Grolick, we'll email responses to folks, right? We'll do that.
Sure, we can certainly do that, as we're unfortunately not going to be able to get through all of these today.
I would also say that I'm seeing a lot of questions that can be answered by going to that link and visiting that web page where the videos are. I can see that.
That's a great resource. Absolutely. Thank you. Here's a question though, Mrs. Costelli, perhaps you could elaborate on for credits, 5 credits for high school, 10 credits for academy.
Yeah. So let me give you an example. So we have an A day, B day schedule with 80-minute blocks. So if you're in the Animal Science Academy, you go to Animal Science as a freshman, first block, 5 days a week. So you have 80 minutes a day. Whereas your math class meets 80 minutes every other day. So do you see what I'm saying? You're spending twice as much time in your academy class than any one academic class.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. I definitely left my glasses at school the other day. If the student does not get accepted in 9th grade, can they apply again the following year and transfer? Unfortunately not. Students must apply in 8th grade and be accepted in. We do not accept transfers, and the reason is due to the rigors of the curriculum that you're seeing for all of these programs. This question is about how many students get accepted to design and computer science, but I will answer that in total. So most of our programs accept 16 to 20 students per year. The academies that accept a little bit more because they have double cohorts or two or more teachers are healthcare science and computer and information science accept up to 32. And the Academy for Math, Science, and Engineering accepts up to 48 students per year. Let's see. So there's some questions, targeted questions about course offerings for the Academy programs. If you go to our website, mcvts.org, and click on the programs tab, you can go through each one of our programs and it will give you in there information about the Academy teachers, a view of the classroom on the Denville campus, the satellite campuses. There's some videos, information about career paths, and it also goes over the curriculum for the academies for all 4 years. So that's a great place to go for each one of the programs to look at. Let's see, can juniors and seniors drive to school? Any of the student ambassadors, anybody want to jump in there with that one? Let's see.
Yes, they can. I'm just going to
okay.
answer that question. Seniors get priority. So we have a whole process and they can drive to school. I also just want to generally address some of the questions are kind of in the same category. Would that be okay, Ms. Gralick?
Oh, yes, please.
So there's some questions about the admissions process, about random selection. So as you know, well, maybe you don't know, but because of the pandemic, there are things that we can't collect from applicants that we used to be able to collect. First of all, we can't do mass testing. We used to test everyone who came in, and we would get a very specific test score for applicants. We also used to collect standardized test scores from the New Jersey Student Learning Assessments, and that would give us numerical data. And we're still testing MSE because the math curriculum is so rigorous in that program that students have to meet certain criteria in order to be in that program. But we're not collecting the test data and other data for safety reasons or because it isn't available. Because of that criteria that we are using, students are going to be very close together in terms of their rubric scores. Our students are normally very close together in their rubric scores, even with the testing and the standardized test scores and grades, which we're still collecting, but we're collecting a wider range. So because of that, we have determined that we have many qualified applicants who would be very successful in our school. And we are going to set a qualifying score and then use a random selection process, which is more like a lottery system. So that's what that is. So we have lots of qualified applicants, and they're all going to get a fair shake at that. So I did want to address that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there were also several questions about special education services. And I said in the presentation, we have a full child study team, and we have special education teachers, and we do offer services for them. So I wanted to be clear about that. And then there was one very specific question I do want to address, and that is an applicant who wants to apply to culinary who has celiac disease. And is that okay? And I'm going to say yes. We would never discriminate against an applicant because they have a medical condition. But what I would say is we're going to make sure that you can be in the academy and stay safe. So we're not going to ask you to taste anything with gluten in it. So those are my responses to those questions.
Thank you, Mrs. Castelli. I'm just gonna, I'm overwhelmed and so happy your questions are coming in a whole bunch. So we will follow up via email, but just quickly, a couple that I see also are coming from quite a number of people. For your recommender, if they have not received the email, check your status page, look at that confirmation page to see if the email was entered correctly. And if not, just send us an email at applicants@mcvts.org. You can just reply to your confirmation email if easier and let us know who has not replied. We can certainly resend that email, and we can also check that email address for you. That's not a problem. I am going to just quickly show you here. I have a couple of people asking on our website. You will see when you go to mcvts.org/apply. You can click on the full-time academies, and there's a plethora of information. This is where you can access our application, information about the virtual information sessions, including a link to the website that Ms. DiDomenico sent you that we have been referring to. It's a secondary website with a bunch of information specifically for the information sessions. So that is available on our website. But again, we will follow up to the email addresses that are submitting questions as well as that registered with a bunch of this. You can also see our admissions handbook on our website. And in that, a link to the video audition form. There's a bunch of questions regarding that. Step-by-step instructions. Students, don't be nervous about this. Be yourself, okay? And it's going to be 2 minutes long. You are going to be answering 2 questions. Why is Morris County Vocational School District the right school for you? And why are you the right student for Morris County Vocational School District, okay? There is a naming convention. What that means is how you will be saving the file. And there's a link here that you're going to submit that, okay? So you want to make sure that you announce your name, your PIN number, which you will receive in your confirmation email, the academy you're applying to. But do not let that be a stressor to you, okay? So all of the information on our website, as well as the secondary one, which we will follow up. But I do think we are going to go ahead and close it up because it is 7:30 and our student ambassadors do need to get a little shut-eye before tomorrow and get some work done. But thank you so very much, everyone, for joining us. Student ambassadors, you're incredible. I appreciate your taking the time to be here. Mrs. Castelli and Mrs. DiDomenico, thank you so much. And to our audience, we very much appreciate you logging in and being with us this evening. And I hope to see you all at Morris County Vocational School District in the fall.